All right, everybody, it's the Arty 84 show live here from quarantine, episode 160, live on Facebook, and you can get this everywhere. As always, to the right of me via the interwebs, Adam the Mallet, with his Santa hat on. Yes. And to the left of me in studio, for the first time in a long time, Eric Danger Powers.
Yeah,
sitting
here.
Nice. And we're live tonight. We have a special guest tonight. Kacy G will be joining us in about 15 minutes. He has written another book. Author.
He's written a book?
He's on his 10th book right now. And he's donating all the proceeds to penis enlargement research or something of that nature. He'll get into more details once he gets on. But do you know he's been on the show? He's been the most common guest on the show.
He loves it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we had him when... Didn't we have him with Bo? No, it was just Bo.
No. Kacy was supposed to be on... Remember the time you didn't want to come on because the porn star was going to be on?
Oh, yeah.
We thought it would be very interesting for them to have they could have a nice conversation with each other. But he'll be joining us at 8:15 Eastern Standard Time here tonight. And if you're watching on the Packy Network and On the Rocks to get a little sample tonight, stay tuned for On the Rocks a little after 9 o'clock tonight from the Packy Studios here. So that should be interesting.
Eric Powers.
Would you like to give a sample of what the show's about?
I mean, we're just going to, talk about the industry. You're a bartender, too. So we're just going to talk about it, I'm going to, if hopefully it can get going, people can comment on a thing and, comment their 2 cents. Maybe they'll watch.
Yeah.
And just try to get a bunch of bartenders just like hanging out. Kind of like that get the fuck out of here video, You're blind. The guy ended up being blind. You see that thing?
No.
You didn't see that?
It's a video. I was blind.
Oh, no, so good. It was a video. They're like, "Oh, you're gluten-free. Get the fuck out of here." It's like, "Oh, you're like they're making my customers." The guy goes, "Oh yeah," and you got your dog carrying your dog, and you got your glasses on, you get your fancy cane. They're like, "Oh, dude, he was blind." He goes, "Oh, but he had an allergy." "Oh, get the fuck out of here!" There's a funny sketch. But basically, that's what we're going to be. We're just going to talk, and we'll bring a bitch about the customers. So if you want to learn,
I'm going to save a story. I was going to sample it right now, but I'll save a story.
Not like our stories, like
one night,
not like guy stories.
No,
but it's going to be legit like customer stories
of a customer we had one night. Actually, a couple of stories. We'll save it for the show tonight. Stick a tune for after 9 o'clock tonight, and you get to hear some of the crazy stories. This is one of the favorite ones we've talked about in the show a bunch of times. God, what has happened this week? What do you think about Massachusetts closing down now? Now we're going to wear masks in the restaurant?
I mean, whatever. I mean, maybe some of these stupid college kids should stop having giant parties. I mean, we're not the worst in the United States when it comes to protocols, so it's like, whatever. I mean, I don't know. No one really knows the science behind it all, and no one really knows anything. I mean, it's annoying, but, like, we're going to be out of this by mid-year, so whatever.
Yeah, a couple months. I'm not taking the vaccine. I can tell you that much.
I'm not either.
No.
Speaking of that,
did you see the two people? And I'm not stepping on your feet there. You're not going to talk about the English people, the people over in England, are you?
Yeah, UK, the side effects. Yeah, there's been allergic reactions to the shot.
Yeah, 2 of them.
Yeah, they died, right?
This is why.
Imagine surviving this and then dying because you got a vaccine.
I don't want to be that guy. The last thing I want to do is be
they were fine, though, because they had EpiPens right there. But, like, still, this is why you don't take it immediately.
I've had so much pumped into my veins when I was in the Army. I've had anthrax shots.
Get the anthrax vaccine.
I don't think anything else, any vaccine is going to go into my body is going to mix with that cocktail.
It's like a new electronic that comes on the market. You don't buy it when it first comes out. It's going to have bugs and issues. You wait a couple months until they sort that shit out, and then you get it. That's how I feel about it,
I mean, I don't know what was in that anthrax shots, but those
probably something tasty.
Killed. You have a knot in your arm for weeks.
They put anthrax in you.
Which means I should be immune to everything. Jesus Christ.
I never even knew there was a vaccine for anthrax. Because I remember when they were sending
I didn't know that either until recently.
Do you remember, like, in 2001, they were sending it to, like, Tom Brokaw, NBC Nightly News. I got a package of white powder sent to my office here.
Snort it?
Yeah, they never knew who did that. They never caught that person.
Never found it.
When I worked in the hospital, I worked in X-ray, right when I got out of the Army, I worked in X-ray. I was just basically a file clerk. And every time we had mail come, they'd make me open it. Hey, give it to the factory. give it to this guy. He's... Because of any white powder.
So we're walking around. So we're watching the Jersey Shore. They're in the season, so they were filming during quarantine. So Pauly D actually, you got to catch up. So
I'm on episode 2 now
of the new season.
The new season.
So you skipped all? Did you finish the Double Shot of Love?
No, but I saw half a double shot of love. Like I knew he was, and I've been reading headlines even after that, so I knew he was going to end up with Nikki.
Oh, okay, okay. So as long as you know that, then you can continue because they were kind of parallel, and then the new season kind of takes over.
Yeah. So and I love how they're fusing these people from that show in. It's like Angelina is friends with two of them.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Like so you are. So you've seen the guys in the hazmat suits yet?
No. I meant episode 2 though. But I do find it funny on a side note that Mike, he's like supposedly this new reformed good guy, but there's a new story that just broke out the other day how he's behind like drastically in his community service. Like he's only done 18 hours of 500, and the judge is like issuing a warning to him.
Yeah, what an idiot! The guy, he literally got it easy too because Uncle Vinny, Uncle Nino, Vinny's uncle, served a lot of time in the prison. So he had a lot of friends in the inside. So he was able to kind of soften it up a little bit for the situation. But imagine the situation he has to go back to jail for just not doing his community service. Like, how hard does it do?
He might go back to jail.
He's like a celeb, right? So he could do community service anywhere. And people would love it, right? He could go do like school and be like talking about like, working out. He could be a gym teacher.
He's actually worth the least out of all of them.
I mean, I was on.
Pauly D is worth the most at $20 million. The situation's only worth $300,000.
Well, a lot of that money went bye-bye.
But Arty, when you do court-mandated community service, they make you clean highways and stuff.
No, but not the situation.
No, I don't know. But I know when I did it, I was cleaning up condoms and needles out of Charles River.
You are Eric from Wakefield. This is Mike the situation. He could go and be like, listen, I will do 1,000 hours community service. Let me work at a local school as like a gym helper.
No, because that helps his career afterwards.
They don't. I mean, come on, you got it easy.
You got it very easy. I would just go do his community service tool.
Surprisingly, Vinny and Ronnie are worth the same. They're both worth $4 million, which is surprising because Vinny actually, he's in Vegas and he's been a stripper.
Yeah, so he's working for Chippendales. They don't get paid very much, I don't think, and I think he probably gets paid a little bit more because he's the headliner. But
what about Ronnie?
Ronnie probably just has investments.
Maybe
he's like a half portal, half Itala. He probably invested in some property and stuff like this. I mean, they seem to be living all right.
Oh yeah, they're all millionaires.
They're not complaining, except for Mike the situation, who could have been a millionaire if he just paid his taxes. How hard is it just to pay? I just got a bill from the IRS today for another $500 I owe them. Friggin' Massachusetts fucking tax. I get bills every 6 months. I fucked the IRS once, and now they're auditing me for everything. Now this is for 2017. I didn't claim a cashed out IRA. Yeah, they got me. They got me by the balls there. I feel like Mike the situation. I'm like Arty the incident. Every time I'm around, there's an incident.
Actually, you know what? You know what's funny? You said that when I was the summer I was on Girl Ups 2 when they were doing the frat boys.
Yeah,
there was a kid who was trying out for a reality show that made a joke like that, called himself the incident. He's like, oh, he's the situation. Just like, and I remember laughing because I know you used to always say that.
How come you not doing extra work for this new blockbuster movie that's in town right now?
I got an email. I submitted.
What's up, Powers? You got nothing else to do. What's
up?
I
submitted. I'm working.
Our boss's daughter's one of the extras in the show.
Hopefully I'll get him to meet up with Leo and I could tell him that friggin' Dango on Chain meme's my favorite in the world. I ain't gonna stop making memes with it. I'll be 90 and I'll still will.
So how come you have to wear masks when you're sitting at a table at a restaurant when you're not eating, but Leonardo DiCaprio can walk around the city of Boston filming a movie with no mask?
Why can nobody travel for Thanksgiving, but 1,000 people can come in to make a movie?
Yeah.
Because they tax money.
Adam, can you tell us? Big conspiracy guy.
No, nobody really knows. Because he's Leonardo fucking DiCaprio. And I'm sure, and the thing is, though, I'm sure everything around him has been pushed out. He's Leonardo DiCaprio. He's not sitting with the public.
No, and it's funny because they were showing a picture of the scene and like all like the crew guys, the uni guys have to wear masks and stuff like that on set, and he's just walking around like I'm fucking Leo with my cock hanging out. I mean, he's a cocksmith. You can't deny it. You know what I mean?
Oh, I'm sure most actors are.
I didn't think he was actually going to make it past Growing Pains. And then he did and then he did Romeo and Juliet, which was my first date I ever went on with a girl. Her name was Liz. She was a redhead. It was 7th grade. And we went to
Grape was before that, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I didn't see the Gilbert Grape. Yeah. That's when he played
The Beach is a good movie. I like The Beach.
Special kid.
You ever see The Beach? The Beach.
Yes, I like that.
With Bette Midler?
No, that's Beaches.
No, that's Beaches.
The Cancer movie.
The Beach is when he goes to like Tahiti or something. I mean,
yeah, he
Bangkok.
travels and ends up on this island that's like this utopia. It's kind of, and then it kind of ends up like Lord of the Flies a little bit.
Is this before Romeo and Juliet?
After, no,
like Titanic-ish?
No, this is right. It was after Titanic.
Okay.
Definitely after Titanic because I was.
Yeah, I think it was right after.
I think it was like early thousands. I don't think it was in the armies. It was early thousands.
I remember.
Are you looking it up, Adam?
Yeah, I'm looking up right now.
I'd say 2002.
Do you remember when the Titanic came out?
Yes.
It was in when you bought it was a double VHS.
Yes, and you had to change it.
Yeah,
even the DVD.
Do you remember the first scene on the second VHS?
No, I don't.
It's the titty scene.
Oh,
because we were watching in 9th grade at the Revere High School. I feel like I'm a Jewish guy at the Revere High School. We're watching the Titanic, and the first time they hit play, all of a sudden we seen titties. It was great.
Yeah, I mean, he took off. I mean, yeah, I mean, you had the Titanic in '97, then you had the Beach in 2000, Gangs in New York 2002, Catch Me If You Can was also 2002, The Aviator, The Departed, Blood Diamond, like Shutter Island, Inception.
How many titties do you think he's seen?
1,000.
Oh, a lot. He goes around Australia in a sex yacht. He's got that fucking yacht that just goes around the coast of Australia with models.
Think he ever gets sick of women? He's like, let me try like a trans guy.
Probably.
I mean, they all do.
I wouldn't doubt it.
They have to, right? Because you get so much. Because like, just think about it. If you get something you like and it's just getting thrown at you and you don't have to try for it, don't you get bored of it?
Yeah, it's like I love pizza, but I couldn't eat it every day.
Yeah, like say someone kept bringing you pizza every day and leaving it on your doorstep. Eventually, you're gonna be like, "That's enough pizza."
It's like Tupac says, "I hate to sound sleazy, but tease me. I don't want it if it's that easy." He's right.
Right, bro.
I mean, how long you think a girl that wants to be with Leo puts on the hard to get before she gives in? Because you gotta balance it just right. Because you could get to a point where you're just playing hard to get and he just says on to the next one and throws you. To the
I don't think he ever gets someone playing hard to get.
No, I'm imagining not. But there's always that one girl. Remember the ones we bought the shots for at after the Celtics game, and then they turned around and went to their boyfriends, and we left them off the tab.
Oh yeah.
Girls like that, who don't want to play the game.
I'm looking at a photo thing of all of his dating history, and these are all like fucking 10s.
Yeah. But you think he's gonna slum every once in a while, right? You don't think he's slummed?
Oh, of course.
Like that scene in Sideways when he's sitting at the big fat waitress at the end of the movie where he goes banging and he ends up the husband walks in.
Oh my God.
He's gonna be on Tinder.
Who?
Leo.
No, he's just gonna walk down the street.
No, but like he could do that, but like he could just be slumming and then maybe he has a fake profile. Maybe it's like a picture of like I don't know, like Kacy Furtaw. He uses as a decoy.
Giselle too. He's been with a lot of people.
He was with Giselle before Tommy, right?
Oh yeah. And Giselle was still just a starting out model. I think he had her when she was starting out.
So him and Tom Brady are
Eskimo
brothers, and Tom Brady and Kevin Youkilis are brother-in-laws. How's that sound? That's a fun fact.
Yeah.
Kevin Youkilis dumping his Jewish girlfriend, a wife.
Naomi Campbell. Jesus.
The director McGee must brag that he's Eskimo Brothers with Brady.
Ah, yes, that's right.
Oh, I lost you.
Are you Eskimo Brothers, if anyone, in this room, Adam?
I can't see you. I just lost you.
Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
I can see you. I can see every move.
Oh, he's with Blake Lively, too. Wow, look at that. I can't see you.
Yeah, but I was with Blake Lively twice. Summer of 2000.
Was she lively?
She was very lively. Except in bed, she was a dead fish. Hope TMZ gets this footage and tells everyone some jackass from Massachusetts is claiming crazy stories of such. And they look at me, and then you guys are associated with me. Just remember, if anything ever goes down, you two are the first two people that the authorities, next to my wife, that they ask questions. Hey, did you see it? Did you think you had a pattern of this happening?
I'm just going to be like, I don't know what you're talking about.
He, I don't know, kidnapped a school of I don't know.
He's like the king of this fake news.
Ooh, went dark.
Adam, I know what's going on with you guys.
We can hear you.
I can see you.
Can you hear us?
I can't see you guys at all.
Well, as long as you can hear us.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, and your video's working fine, so we're getting the recording. It's all good. Maybe we'll kick back in. Maybe maybe. Do you see?
Oh, there you are. You're back.
My shirt's off. You got to stop cruising mature gay porn. That's slowing up your
True.
server.
Oh, wait. What was that magazine that Joe asked you to
Bay
Google?
Window.
Bay Window.
Are you familiar with Bay Windows?
No.
Bay Windows was a publication in the Boston area that was big in the 90s for homosexuals and lesbians to go and pretty much meet. It was before. It was like. Do you remember the Adult Phoenix?
Yeah.
The
So was it like
it was
inserts?
It was more like stories.
It still exists.
Yeah, it's like lesbians telling stories about them painting windows or painting or something. But then there's like a personal thing. So that's how they used to meet. That's how, like, instead of tapping your foot in the gas station bathroom, you know?
Bay Window, serving New England's lesbian, still active, serving New England's lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender communities.
There's nothing wrong with it. If that's what you like, you know? As far as I'm concerned, hey, listen.
Nothing wrong with that.
You like sticking
I just thought it was an architecture magazine because it sounds like it would be.
It sounds like a New England, what do you call it?
Like Better Homes or something.
Yeah, a periodical, if you will, of New England architecture.
There was another something like that also in the 90s. Maybe it was for straight sex. Or that was just at the Phoenix, maybe.
I remember the Adele Phoenix used to be able to get it at Amazon's, and I used to be
actually the Boston Herald used to post 900 like porn things.
Almost every escort in the back of the Adele Phoenix.
Oh, dude, we
was working at the carriage house.
We were in high school. Yeah, we were in high school. We realized you could call escorts from the whores from the phone book. We'd call them up and try to like get them to talk dirty.
Ladies of the
and the guys, hang up with the guys.
Yeah. Me and my buddies piled in a Jeep one night, and we found an escort, and we found out where she was working, and she was at the carriage house in Peabody, and she said, "You could tell it's my room. I have a blinking red light on there." So we got to see what this bro looks like, right? She was like charging like $75 for a half hour. So we all drove around the hotel looking for because remember how big it was back then? It was like tons of rooms. So we drove around until we seen the one with the front porch light with the red one. And there was this ratchet looking broad out there smoking a cigarette. She looked like she was about 7 years old. And I'm like, yep, that's what you get for $75.
Like the Quagmire's wife when he goes to Harvard and marries the prostitute.
Speaking of Quagmire, I think it's time to bring our guest in. We're going to call him Kacy, but he also goes by Arminius Finielli.
That's his pet name?
Oh, where'd he go? Did we just lose him?
Lose him?
Yeah, just try to bring him in. He just disappeared. Oh, there he comes.
There he is.
And he's wearing a mask. Okay.
What the hell?
Arminius.
Is that a doctor mask?
Today, sir? Can you hear us, Arminius?
No.
There he is. He's muted.
No, he's not muted on my side. Is your mic on, Arminius?
His is.
There we go.
There we go.
There we go.
Kacy, a.k.a. Arminius Fininio. Is that pronounced that right?
Yeah, that's close enough.
Yes.
It gets butchered frequently.
You're with, of course, Adam and Eric Danger Powers. Familiar faces, I would say.
Immediately, I'm looking at the photos in the background.
Yes, I see you're, first of all, in a house. When you joined us over the summertime, you were on a porch.
Yep. My mic is on.
There we go.
Yeah, my mic is on.
Is he that
Are you delayed?
delayed? I could hear us from like.
Yep. So I cannot be on the porch. It's still slightly too chilly.
Are you watching us on Facebook as well?
This is like calling the radio station and seeing
with the radio on.
With the radio on.
We're getting some feedback from your. Maybe turn the speaker down a tad, so we don't get your feedback here.
Yep. All right.
There
This
you
should
go.
be much better. There was a lot of echo.
Yes. How have you been? Have you been surviving the last few months of the pandemic?
I've been trying not to think about it.
Yeah.
Last time we talked, you were happy. You were like, "This is great. I'm writing," and you were sitting on your porch.
Yeah,
and you were
he
all like
hates people.
statics. Now you seem kind of.
He literally hates people. This was the best thing that ever happened to him. If it stays like this forever, he'd be the happiest.
I do hate people, and probably as a result, I contracted coronavirus. So, it's all good.
How did you? So if you didn't leave the house, how did you contract it?
Arty, you cut out a little bit. You're gonna have to repeat that.
How did you contract the virus if you didn't leave the house?
Yep. So, My grandmother assists my uncle, who's been in and out of the hospital. That uncle, as a result of being in and out of the hospital, who contracted coronavirus, who then gave it to my grandmother, who then gave it to everybody in the house.
So it almost took out the whole G clan. You all got it.
And we all got it. Yep, every single one of us.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are you feeling? How did it affect you? First of all, is everyone okay? Did everyone make it through?
Yeah. No hospitalizations necessary. We do have one concussion.
I don't know if that's. I
don't know the symptoms
of coronavirus.
Yeah.
But one of us did get a concussion.
And how doing what?
I was out of work for a little bit, but not for very long.
Yeah.
We all had different recovery speeds. I was up after a week. Grandparents took a little bit longer. A little bit longer to recover.
I see you got the growing the hair out a little bit. Is that a personal choice, or have you just not made it to a barber?
I've just not made it to a barber.
Because you look like an artist. You look like an author. I mean, you are an author, but now you look in the pot. You're wearing a plaid shirt and you have long hair. You look like very disheveled a little bit. Like you just like came up with a great idea and now you just present it into the world. You can pick up some broads that way. Some like artsy broads.
No, it's just apathy. Strictly apathy.
So what are you going to do when the world goes back to normal and you have to socialize again?
Well, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be looking forward to a very long run outside.
Okay.
I've been missing that. Can't really do that. I mean, now I probably could, but I don't fancy getting fined for not wearing a mask. So
who's finding these people? I haven't worn a mask outside since they made this thing go in effect. I anti-mask. I'm an anti-masker.
Take off the
We're
mask.
going into places. That's it, though. There's no reason to wear it outside when you're on a sidewalk.
No, me and Adam hold hands walking to Dunkin' Donuts.
We skip and we sing and.
I have my comeback when I'm outside, like at the gas pump. Somebody's like, "Oh, you should wear a mask," and I'm like, "Let me ask a question."
Someone said that to you?
Yeah. Do you have to wear? Have you wore a gas mask and full protective gear in over 100-degree weather for about 48 hours, 72 hours? No. Okay, shut up.
Wearing a mask outside when no one's around is like putting a condom on before you go to bed when you're going to sleep by yourself. It's basically the same odds of something. Yeah, very depressing. Just gonna put the Just gonna put the rubber on.
Wet dreams there, Arty?
I still don't want to get fined.
Who's fining you?
I live in an area where I might get fined.
Where?
For not wearing a mask.
Revere?
Go over to the Boston area. They'll find you if you're not wearing a mask.
We work in Boston. Me and Adam
I walked from the VA clinic to my parked car by TD Garden with my mask off my face.
Yeah. We walked by
a cop on a decapitated pigeon on that walk.
We walked by a cop on detail the other day. Listen, I don't think anyone wants to. No, you're gonna be like, hey, listen, it's you're gonna have one cop in the crew who's gonna be like, I'm gonna save the day. I'm gonna go write you a ticket.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna make fun.
Well, like let's say you were being an asshole doing something else, like vandalizing something, and they would add that to it. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, you're doing this, and oh, by the way, you don't have a mask on. We're finding you for that too.
Like the old seatbelt law. Do you remember the old seatbelt thing? They couldn't pull you over for not having a seatbelt, but if you were like, getting blown driving on 95 and you got pulled over, you can get the seatbelt fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's still
that's Eric. It happened to him.
In Connecticut, they don't have to pull you over.
Well, they do.
They just write ticket, get your plate, write tickets into you. I got one. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Not very nice. Who doesn't wear a seatbelt these days anyway?
I mean, this was early 2000s.
Yeah.
Who doesn't wear a seatbelt?
Do you wear a seatbelt, Kacy?
Most cars yell at you if you don't, so you have to.
One night, I almost killed Kacy on the way home from work. I accidentally blew a red light and a gas truck was bearing down on us at Bell Circle.
Yeah, you guys would have been bugs on a windshield.
That was the last time you ever asked me for a ride home.
You parked in the middle of a double highway is what you did. And then there was a 16-wheeler barreling in on the other side.
Yeah. I panicked because I blew the red light, but then I was already halfway to the intersection, so I didn't know what to do, and I looked to my left, and there was a truck coming right towards us. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning. I was very fatigued.
It was 2 o'clock in the morning.
The killer is Kacy literally lives like 3/4 of a mile away from the place, so that would have been like the worst death ever. Like he could have just walked and survived.
That'll show you that, when it's your time, it's your time.
Were you in the Jeep or the van? I can't remember. I think it was the van, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't a van. I think it was your car.
Oh, the old Civic. Yeah.
Oh, your Jeep went kaput before that.
That's right. Yes, it was the old black Civic.
It was the car. It was the black car.
The broken trunk that had bungee cord closed.
I had a Taurus like that.
Things happen.
That sounds about right.
That
was, 7 years ago?
Yeah, my wife thought there was a man in the back of the Honda because it was making lots of noise. I go, wasn't it? I go, what's the difference between a pile of dead babies and a suitcase? I go, I don't have a suitcase in my trunk. You like that one, Adam?
So you got lots of dead babies.
That would be the joke, Kacy.
Dead baby.
There you go.
It's the 90s.
Take my wife, please.
Yeah.
Kacy, so are you working remotely?
Yeah.
And
we are due back at the office January 4th. Still don't know how that's going to work.
Now you're going to do everything in your power not to go back to the office.
What am I going to do with my power to not get back to the office?
Yeah, just tell them you don't want to do it, right? You don't feel comfortable?
I mean, I already had coronavirus, and so has everybody in my family, so we're not really worried about that anymore. But
you're immune to it.
Huh?
Do you believe you're immune to it? I believe you're immune. I believe when people get it, they get immune to it.
So it's a temporary immune resistance. Is what
I would assume that much, at least. Yeah, for sure.
You're not completely immune.
I'd say you bought yourself for sure 6 months.
Yeah. I bet Freddie Mercury wished he had the same immunity when he got his situation.
Yeah, I don't think the same logic applies to that, Arty.
It would have been nice.
How much writing have you got done?
I don't even think they had treatment for that back then.
No, they didn't even know what it was.
Yeah, that was
they didn't even know what it was.
Cancer. The only person who knew what it was Magic Johnson.
So I'm guessing you've been getting a lot of writing done.
Yes, I would comfortably say I've probably put in, since the summer, probably close to writing about 100-ish thousand words. So that is just marginally longer than the first Harry Potter book.
Damn.
Yeah.
Really? You're dedicated to your art.
Huh?
You're dedicated to your art.
I'm much more dedicated than I was when I first started 7 years ago.
Yeah.
8 years ago.
So you were talking, you're doing something, you're donating proceeds to one of your books, or tell us a little bit what you were planning on doing.
So I know, Arty, it is not 100%. It's 75%.
He's donating 100% to the Arty Damadia Fund. Like the human fund.
Yeah, no, not to Arty. It's for the anti-human fund by going to a local food pantry.
Is it for the aliens that the Israeli commander knows about?
Yes. The one that said that they were going to kill our leader?
Yes.
That one. That's where it's going.
I joke. No, but it seems like you're doing a good cause. Yeah, I make light of it because I'm immature.
Yes, you are. You certainly are. And so is Eric. May he rest in peace. No, he'll be sorely missed.
Propping him up like fucking Weekend with Bernie next to me.
Just say Eric, rest in peace.
I know he's right next to. He's right there. I don't know what's happening.
It's almost like he's still with us.
It's almost right.
What?
But it's pretty as he is when he's alive.
May he rest in peace. He'll be surely missed.
What? Did I miss something?
I don't know what the hell. I don't even know what's happening.
Adam, can you see me? Adam, am I here?
You're there.
I just gotta chill in this fuck.
I wouldn't believe. I could believe that he could see the future. What the fuck you? Say something different.
Arty, I can't believe you didn't tell Adam this. I mean, You wrote Eric's obituary last week. It was in the Boston News.
This is kind of freaky.
This is like scary.
I feel his presence. I always feel his presence. Even now, I feel like he's around. You know,
I think you're making him nervous.
No, it's gone. It's gone stupid.
It's getting nervous.
Yeah. You see, Adam. You know, precisely. It's like he's still with us.
It's like he's still there. You know.
What did you do?
Unfortunately, we'll never see that.
Did you that phone? What'd you send him?
I feel like it was only a couple weeks ago.
What the fuck did you doing out there before I came in?
A couple of weeks ago, him and I were talking about the Mandalorian and Friendsgiving, and now it's like my world is blown up and he's not here with us. It's crazy. I still forget. I forget, and I treat it like he's still here. I'm sorry.
No, you just got to let him go.
I'm glad we invited all the broads he slept with to the funeral.
Jesus.
And all the dudes too.
I'm already getting the Stephen King vibe from you, fucking Kacy. So come on, let's stop with that. He looks like Stephen King. Look how creepy he looks.
He's disheveled. Look.
The hair, man. You gotta get a haircut. I like the clean cut. You know, Kacy. That's pretty good.
There you go.
The hair is very early Tim Burton. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, I believe that.
No grades though. Looking good.
Thank you. So what I will be doing is for all the royalties for my books for this Christmas season and up until April of this year is I will be donating 75% of those sales to a food pantry.
Nice.
What? Sorry, I didn't hear that.
It's donated to a food pantry. 75%.
Food pantry. I didn't hear.
Christmas sales.
Yeah.
Nice.
Right? Did I get that right? See?
Yep.
Too bad Eric can't enjoy it because he's
pretty good.
Ghost of Eric Powers.
Pretty good for a ghost.
Yeah, we'll miss Eric. He'll be sorely missed. Be sorely missed. When's his funeral, by the way?
Arty, do you want to take this?
Yeah, Tuesday.
Tuesday
at 5:00.
I gotta work. Our bosses don't let us take time.
Yeah, we can't get time off from funerals.
We can't make it.
All right. Well, for Eric's family, we are sorry for your loss. All right. So I do have 3 books that's published, all 3 of which are novels. This one right here was published in April. And that all of this, you can essentially, if you liked the complexities of the Wheel of Time, if you enjoyed the world of the Lord of the Rings, you will enjoy this book. This book had its second review a couple weeks ago, just after Thanksgiving, comparing it favorably to the Lord of the Rings.
Ooh.
So this was my love story, or my love letter, to the Tolkien world from the Lord of the Rings I fell in love with when the first movie came out, because I didn't realize there was a book. And then I read the books, all 4 of them, you know, the trilogy and then The Hobbit.
Where do you find the time to write these complex novels?
Ditto. Well, this one took a number of years, actually. So as you can see, it's pretty...
It's quite thick.
It's not that thick.
Boom!
It's not that thick.
Looks like
she said too.
600 pages.
How many? 600 pages? Double-sided, though, right?
Double-sided.
So that's like 1,200 pages.
Sorry. No. 600 pages.
Oh.
Double-sided. Double-sided back-to-back. So
I never...
total...
Sorry. I had to go haunt somebody else for a minute. What's this book about?
It's a love story.
Like Lords of the Ring type stuff? Did I hear? Or Harry Potter or something? I was out. Sorry, I had to go haunt somebody else for a second.
Yeah, so while Eric's ghost is still haunting us, may rest in peace. So the books themselves are my love letter to the Lord of the Rings novels.
Oh, I did hear that. I was listening.
The first one is called The Secrets of Terra Salenti. That is a classic Curiosity Killed the Cat. Not a literal cat. I was not sadistic back then by putting cats in blenders, as Arty can attest to.
Don't fuck with cats, right? You don't want to do that guy. You want to be that guy.
Yeah, we had that experiment at the bar. Like right when we opened.
We did. Poor cat.
I was great pussy. So that story was a wood elf who was exiled from his homeland in Kinasa, made a life for himself in a village as a hunter.
A wood elf?
He's a wood elf.
Does that
mean
he's
made of wood? It's called a wood elf because he used to reside in the woodlands. So he goes on a trip. Turns out to be essentially his last hunting trip.
Like Eric last week.
Yeah, just like Eric. Precisely like Eric. And so the story goes, he goes on a hunting trip, and he finds it odd that there aren't any livestock to be hunting in the area where he is hunting. And so he goes deeper, and he finds an encampment of goblins, which is very strange. Not the fact that there are goblins there, but that the goblins were like strewn across the forest. So you have like one of the guys basically painting the nearby trees. And that's where the curiosity killed the cat comes in. So he investigates and ends up going down this heavily thick brush, which goes down into a basin which is filled with moss and fog. And he finds an old ruin called Terra Salenti. So he goes into these ruins, and he goes into these ruins, and he again finds that, rubble's out there. There are skeletons. So he goes into this castle, goes into this dungeon. Again, curiosity killed the cat. And then turns out there is a woman there.
Ooh.
Who has a stuttering problem with her speech. So she constantly twitching as if, there's like two spirits like fighting inside the same body.
That could come in handy for certain sexual activities.
I can't do it anymore. So, so what ends up happening is she essentially beats the living heck out of him, and then implants a virus inside his brain. So, you imagine, take the worst possible thing you can imagine and multiply it by cancer.
It's kind of like the Magic Johnson story.
Yeah. Multiply it by cancer.
Walking up from football practice when we heard.
Yeah.
Walking up from football practice, and the coach yelled out, "Hey, Magic Johnson got the HIV." That was it. He's retiring.
Yeah, take the worst possible thing you can imagine and multiply it by cancer.
Yeah.
That's what the experience is like.
So was the chick at least hot?
Well, she's dead.
Well, because you figure if you're gonna get a disease from a hot chick, you figure she better be a hot chick. You don't want to get it from the hood rat.
May as well make it worth your while, right?
It's gonna be a wood elf, right? And you're going through the woods in a dungeon.
What elf?
Yep.
Seriously.
And the woman is now dead.
Go big or go home.
No, unfortunately, it wasn't very big.
So
right. So that is the inciting book, the inciting incident for the first book.
So how does it end? Where's the cliffhanger?
I don't want to give spoilers away.
Oh, don't spoil it. In that case, go read the book. Because I wish I knew how to read, because I would really like to know. I haven't finished a book in my life. I could read enough to get by, But so I'm actually fascinated. I'm no joking aside. I'm actually fascinated by the adventures of the Wood Elf, because he goes in the dungeon. No, because you can really compare this to real life, right? You're on I don't know. Say you're walking down Industrial Avenue in Las Vegas, right? You're the Wood Elf, and you're in this weird area, and chicks are just all over the place. And then you take a right into this place called what was it called?
Where?
Place in Vegas. The Swingers Club.
Oh, I forget.
Club Hush.
Yes, there you go.
Take a right into Club Hush, and all of a sudden you see a lady who claims she works there named Katie Holmes.
I remember that.
Also doubling as a prostitute.
Didn't we find her on some porn site too? What was it?
Yeah, and then you go and you get services from her.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
But then you realize you have no money, and you reach into your pockets deep, and all you have is a few Bellagio chips.
Oh, that was the poker. That was the prick.
And then you have to pay it with the poker chips.
There's no cash on me.
And then the cop comes in, but he's not upset about the services. He's upset about the alcohol.
He's upset about the 40 ounce I had in my lap.
Because they don't have a liquor license.
Actually, in my hand, because something else was in my lap.
And then you multiply it by cancer.
Yeah.
I get the concept.
Multiply it by cancer. That's exactly what it's like.
All right. So all joking aside, this would actually be a very interesting animation.
It would be.
I thought so too.
Yeah.
Problem is, I would really only trust Japan with this thing. So.
Yeah, definitely not China.
Okay. It's better than Chinese. Yeah. Right.
Do you know any Japanese that could help you?
I know one. No, actually, no, that's not. No, yeah, I only know one person from Japan, but I'm pretty sure he's not into animation.
My cousin, he's not Japanese, but he's into Japanese animation. I bet he could probably find a person who could. I mean, I'm sure you could find some college student who's like willing to take on the adventure.
It's the same cousin that has a co-manager in fantasy football.
That's a different cousin. Yes. No.
Co-manager fantasy football.
So I have a variety of categories for my cousins.
You got some interesting relatives, I will say that.
Does not have a co-manager.
That he does. I've met one of them. I've met a couple of them.
Slept with one of them.
The two that I know.
I think the three of you are what do you call it? Eskimo brothers.
Oh.
Steve, my cousin Steve gets around.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Just for the record, I don't have a cousin Steve.
This is Eskimo brother.
Yeah, just his brother. Bryce.
Brent.
Is a freak of nature.
Kacy, I can't believe. When did we work together? For almost a decade? It was quite some time.
When was the last time we worked together? I haven't been there since.
It's been about a year since you worked there. But over the time of our lifespan together, we've worked almost a decade, wasn't it? Wouldn't be close to a decade, I would say, right? Because you're what, 39 years old right now? So you started working there when you were 18? So it was, what, 20 years ago?
A long time ago. It's
you're
already there. I was there. I was there.
You're almost Eric's age, right? You pushing 50?
Me?
Yeah.
I look really good for a 50-year-old.
You do. You kind of have like the artist look. Like Evan, like
he does.
You know,
looks like a writer right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Just unfortunately, a writer with zero talents. Just sarcasm to my name.
You're selling yourself short there, because the book you've described sounds actually pretty interesting, and the series, of course.
It does.
So it's a little bit more serious. It has some lightheartedness to it, but not too much, because the overwhelming tone of the book, it was intended to be dark fantasy, which is going to have like horror elements. There's going to be like very depressing, and just for many of the good characters in the book, it can be very, very oppressing with the situation that they're in. And in book 3, this one right here has been described as grimdark, which was unintentional. Now, for those of you who don't know what the difference between dark fantasy and grimdark is,
like Hyde Park and Mattapan.
Huh?
I was making a joke there. Hyde Park and Mattapan. You got to be from the area.
No, both of those are grimdark. Yeah, they're grimdark. Both of those are grimdark. So dark fantasy will have like horror elements to it. So you can think of Ghost. There's just an overwhelming aura of horror. It's
like Eric, a ghost.
Yes.
Grimdark. So we're living a grimdark situation right now.
Oh, no, right now it's dark fantasy
It's
because dark because his ghost is here among us. May he rest in peace.
Maybe if Rodney was with us.
And grimdark is more, so you have a dystopian society where there's a lot of gray morality.
Yeah.
So gray morality is essentially, there can be like overwhelming dark characters. They'll have evil characters. They may have redeeming qualities.
Now, when you say dark, like dark in the spirit of dark, or dark like,
With grimdark, it's more of the reflection of the reality of humanity.
Yeah.
So no one is purely good. No one is purely evil. So you have evil people who will have some redeeming qualities, and then you might have good characters who may have done absolutely terrible things. And that's essentially the difference between dark fantasy and grimdark. One is more so for the overwhelming tone of the novel.
Yeah.
And the other one's more dealing with like the internal struggles of the individual characters inside the book.
Now, let me ask you a question. If you Google dark fantasy on like a website such as like, I don't know, RedTube or Pornhub, you're going to get a whole different type of dark fantasy. Would you concur?
Well, I don't know what that is, so I can't really answer to that.
Are you concerned that people Google dark fantasy in terms of your book and expect it to be something more of the erotic flavor?
They might need to see a therapist.
Well, there's at least
because there's
3 people in this room right now that need to see a therapist, and we're just having the help yet.
I already see one.
Well, the ghost doesn't, I guess. Because
I already see one. His name's God, and he's going to smite you all.
His funeral is on Tuesday.
Tuesday, 5 o'clock at the High Church.
All right, can't make it.
Yeah, I want you there anyway.
COVID protocols, right? You gotta.
Roses are red, violets are blue. I'm a schizophrenic, and so am I.
What about Bob?
Yep.
What about?
Not to think it.
Great movie.
That's like one of my favorite quotes ever.
That is actually a very underrated movie.
I love that movie.
I don't think that
movie.
It's
very much more of a. We talked about this before. It's very much more of a Richard Dreyfuss movie than it is a Bill Murray movie.
Yeah.
But it's still a fucking awesome movie. Like if you were to go head to head, what about Bob versus Groundhog Day? Like they're both fucking awesome movies, but it's like Groundhog Day is definitely more of a Bill Murray movie.
I'm so animated. He was so into that.
Well, I love the fact.
I wish you guys could all seen that out there.
It makes.
Well, I mean, if you're watching, you can, but when you listen to this later,
Richard Dreyfuss basically is painted to be a dickhead.
I didn't realize how short that guy was. And so I saw that movie with him and Chevy Chase driving around the country, the comic.
Yeah.
Did you watch that one on Netflix? No. It's them two. And I mean, I know Chevy Chase is ridiculously tall, but he looks like Danny DeVito.
You mean Cornelius?
Cornelius.
That's Chevy Chase's real first name, Cornelius. And you have a character Cornelius in your book, don't you? Or am I just making this up?
Yeah, he's in the second book.
Yes, I remember stuff.
A minor, but albeit an important role in it. So the second book, I can go ahead and start setting up some context. So the second book is called The Covenant. Right now, the only canon copy would be found on Exlibris, in Exlibris bookstore. That would be the only canon copy.
What's canon copy? Yeah, I'm not familiar with these terms.
It's basically an author-approved copy.
So you tell me there's bootlegs floating around?
Yeah.
People bootlegging your that's I mean, that's how you made famous, right? When people stop bootlegging your shit. No one bootlegged this show or any of my jokes. I can guarantee you that.
It's like fan fiction. This is what I mean. Like people do their fan fiction.
Yeah.
They're not canon.
It's like role play.
No, there's just whatever happening was it got republished with another publisher, but the publisher went out of business. So there's like a small number of these bootleg copies out there.
Okay.
That's not canon.
Did you change anything?
So that's fucking you over. You're not getting any money for it.
Oh no, because those were just miscellaneous printed copies.
You're like Taylor Swift, right?
That the publisher had on hand at the time.
Yeah.
So now, basically, those copies are being sold by that particular warehouse, but there's like only a handful of them. They're not printing any more of them.
Gotcha. Maybe they'll make it to libraries. That's the goal, right? You want your book in a library.
Well, libraries would be good. Bookstores obviously would be better.
As like
preferable.
To quote one of my favorite lines from one of my favorite movies, Sideways, you got to get your book into the libraries and let the public decide.
Late fees don't go to him.
Fuck a late fee at a library, a penny a day. When was the last time any of us taken a library book out?
Are we talking about public library or talking about a high school library? Because the only time I went to the library in high school and when it was in public library was to make out with girls. Yeah,
I'm gonna say I'm gonna put it right here. I've done some inappropriate stuff at the Revere Public Library.
Wakefield Public, right? Top level. Make out sessions in the back.
I should not go to the Revere Public Library.
So all I'm gonna say is the bathroom downstairs in the kids section. When I was a 9th grader, we went there to work on a project, and we're in a group, and me and one of the females in my group decided we were going to go venture off to the land of Oz, or the men's room at the Revere Public Library's basement. So
you taught me something today, Arty. I didn't know there was a men's bathroom in the library.
It's a basement.
Usually where homeless people go to do drugs, though. Now. Right
now, yeah. I mean, it's also what perverts go. What pervert will look at kid? You know, like the ones who look at kiddie porn in like libraries.
That's where they go to.
That was like big in like the early 2000s. Like perverts were going to libraries to look at kiddie porn.
You see, that's why I just go behind the little bench where you have like the statue of the woman reading.
Yeah.
That's where I went. Yeah, I didn't use
or what?
What here?
Be specific, because we mentioned a few items there. One that you probably want to be fancy of.
The one that's outside in the front.
No, what did you go there for? Because we've said some stuff.
I don't want to incriminate you.
I don't want to,
I don't want to be like Roger Waters over here.
No, that's where I took my dump.
Okay, all right. There we go. That's almost worse.
I mean, it's better than the ladder.
I mean, is it a bathroom, or there's a bathroom, or you just did it outside the statue?
Yeah, but he's in a homeless guy looking at
just outside the statue.
You squatted by the. Okay.
Oh, good for you. We've all taken shits outside.
Yeah.
We've all found porn in the woods.
We all found porn in the woods. Do you know who's not finding porn in the woods? You know who's not finding porn in the woods? The next generation.
Yeah.
Nope. No. Internet's ruined it.
Yep. Because teenagers don't go out these days. Like we used to go venture into the woods. Remember we used to go on adventures. Like
I was thinking the other day, I was smoking weed somewhere. I forget what was I doing. I forget where it was.
You were smoking weed? I never, Eric.
And I saw a couple of kids hanging out like by a store, and I was just like, yeah, that's back when I was like, junior high, 8th grade, 9th grade. We used to walk around the town. We didn't care how cold it was.
Yeah,
we had hand warmers, we had the hats, we hang down at the commons, so the cops kicked us out. Poor little town shit. We thought we were badass.
Me and Joey Doubleback used to ride our bikes in the middle of the winter. We'd be like.
Okay, we get yelled at.
No wonder Eric's dead.
It'd be like
I'm dead.
It'd be like January. We'd be riding our bikes.
He was talking about Joey, not me.
Yeah, no. But when I was 14 years old riding a bike in January, Eric was already on his 3rd marriage, pushing 50. It's like doing the math real quick. He's like
12, 22. I was 9 years. Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Casey, do you see marriage in your future?
When I was 14, I was playing chicken with my bike.
And that's going to lead to your marriage in the future?
No, it was okay. I won most of the games. That also included the one with the Jeep.
I'm going to go on a limb and say you didn't hear my question.
I'm going to limit. He's ignoring it by continuing.
I didn't hear your question.
No, that you keep it's bogging out a little bit. It keeps telling me your bandwidth is low.
Excuse you.
You.
Yeah.
I have a small bandwidth. What are you going to do about it?
Casey, bandwidth shaming him?
Casey, did you plan on finding a nice lady and then stealing the show?
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Yeah, it keeps bugging in and out, dude.
Maybe you can ask Kacy. Can you hear me? I'm curious if he's planning on settling down someday with a nice little filly.
What?
Like a girl. Some little filly break your heart. She was a girl.
Oh, no.
Freda Felcher.
Freda Felcher.
No, nothing like that.
I think
Right.
Although, like, the thing that you should mention, Broken Hearts. Actually, I had started a side project, unrelated to this, that ultimately ended up being about 90,000 words, and that was
nothing.
That was an urban fantasy. So, urban fantasy is just modern fantasy, like in the city. And that one was with a more character-driven focus. And I would, as much as I would like to say that that was a very feel-good story, it was very depressing. And there were many times where I found myself weeping at my computer while writing it.
God, you are a troubled artist.
Yeah, it was very depressing.
You should be wearing a beret, drinking and eating the croissants or something.
I like croissants.
There you go.
I also like bagels.
Donut.
You need to get a loft apartment in Somerville somewhere. You know.
Yeah, he's got Cambridge written all over him.
Cambridge, yeah, Cambridge.
Yeah, it would be nice to have an office someday.
You know, when I hit the megabucks, I'll let you rent a space. How's that sound? I'll donate it to you. KCG fund.
You're in Rockport, right?
Close. Newbury. West Newbury.
West Newbury?
Yeah.
Is that like southern Massachusetts?
It's very north.
Or is that
Rockport. He knows where Rockport is. And then you say very close. Oh, southern Massachusetts.
I'm very close to New Hampshire.
Byfield, try.
Haverhill.
Oh, New Hampshire. So the other side of Massachusetts.
That's right. I understand. I used to live in the South Shore. In Rockland, which, yes. That is many okay. Relationships ago.
That's where I'm thinking.
Yes. Yeah,
so northern Massachusetts.
That's 2014.
So
2020. God, he lives in God's country up here in the northern half. That's why my bandwidth is low, Adam, because I live in God's country. I have small bandwidth. The whole town, she has a T1 line. And we're very popular. Everyone's watching the show tonight. So everyone's very popular.
It's been fine before, though. I don't know why today. It's just, there have been days that you and I have been doing this, and it's been weather that's been shitty. I don't know.
Well,
today's just not.
I think it's because we have a ghost in our presence. I think he's fucking up the bandwidth.
You think what is?
The ghost.
The ghost of Eric Powers?
Yeah, I think he's fucking the bandwidth up.
Oh, shit. Or maybe you just have so much crap on Wi-Fi that now that Eric is here today, it finally topped the scale. Because he's using your Wi-Fi right now. It finally pushed it over.
Dang it, Eric. Even when you're dead, you're useless.
Kacy, we're hitting the end of the show. Thank you for joining us. One last time, how can people help you with your endeavor to help donate 75% of the proceeds to the food bank? And tell us a little bit why you picked the food bank, too, real quick, as well.
Food bank, yes. So it's something that Church of Mine has been working with the food pantry here in Revere, Massachusetts.
Okay.
And over the past month, almost 2 months now, on a weekly basis, they've been adding 300 new families to the list for people who need food.
Gotcha.
And so as a result, it's almost inevitable where they are going to need some help. And so that's why I'm donating to that particular food pantry. So how can people help? Either you can always donate them to yourself if you'd like, but if you want to go ahead and kill two birds with one stone, get somebody a nice Christmas present who's a fan of Lord of the Rings, maybe you're a fan of high fantasy yourself, you can check out my books on Exlibris and Amazon. This one right here, Desecration of the World, is only available on Amazon. You can't really get it anywhere else.
Wait, hold it up again. Let me see the artwork on that. That looked actually really cool.
Yeah, who did the artwork?
Damn, that's dark, but pretty cool looking.
That's pretty cool.
Very
Yep.
Nice. I like it.
Yep.
Do you do the artwork yourself, or would you outsource it?
I had to outsource it.
Yeah.
And let me read this quick review here for this one. This is the one that took the grimdark route to it. It's called The Desecration of the World. Very, very, very uplifting story. All right. So the dark land is pushed towards a moral quagmire, blurring the lines between good and evil. In this fantasy novel, The Desecration of the World, a magical land shudders from the unrelenting attacks of a demonic army. The continent of Alcathos has seen better days. That's an understatement. Even more prosperous cities feature more squalor than comfort. Then Kinasa, one of Alcathos' oldest and most robust cities, falls into an army of darkness that's led by the mysterious Verkana. Xenos is danger also as Decrepit Tower marches south to seize its elven lands. As Decrepit Tower's terror spreads, the continent struggles to amass a defense force, leading to unlikely alliances with people who hate each other. These would-be warriors race to discover a means of overpowering or at least stopping Decrepit Tower. Humans, elves, and dwarves struggle to maintain their morality and their sanity in the face of unrelenting death. Alcathos is a gritty, dark setting, even as elven lands are run down. Grento and Kenderhel's stronghold features renowned warriors, though its people live in squalor. And the home is developed with rampant illness and terrible violence.
Damn. That's some dark shit.
No, it's not that dark. It's very uplifting. It's very uplifting. Named characters die in this book.
That's cool.
Well,
yeah.
Kacy, I think he sold it to us. So you can get it on Amazon. And what was the other website?
Yeah, you can. So the best way to help is with the Secrets of. So all three you can get on Amazon if you just want to get it all in one place.
Yeah.
You can easily find it by typing up my name, which should be showing up here on my on the screen.
Yep.
And just typing it like that, and you'll find all the books that I have there, which will be Secrets of Salenti, The Covenant, and The Desecration of the World.
And how long you donate? What's the donation going to?
So the donation is going to go to the Revere Food Bank via the First Congregational Church of Revere, who runs that food bank.
And how long are you doing it till? When's the cutoff?
All right, so it's not just going to be for Christmas. So all sales from now. Well, I started this a couple weeks ago. All sales from now to the end of April are going to be donated to that food bank.
All right.
And it is going to be 75% of all proceeds.
Well, send me the link to everything. I'll put them on the description to this video on YouTube, Podbean, iTunes, Spotify, Intuned, all the places you can get this podcast and videocast. And I got to say, Kacy, you never disappoint as a guest.
I try to bring my sarcasm where I can.
Yes, because we have a nice rapport of each other.
Rapport.
Rapport. We have a nice rapport together. I mean, we've known each other for quite some time, and we understand each other's personalities very well. And I feel like you've come accustomed to Adam over the
very
time.
much so, despite our differences. Although I still enjoy seeing Kacy Fertaz's face get pied annually with the whipped cream.
And I believe we do agree very closely on the political aspect as well.
Did you freeze?
Was that it?
That it? Yeah.
Can you guys hear us?
They're not even moving.
Wow, we lost the feed.
Wow. All right.
All right, we'll